Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bug and I am coming at you with League of Legends, of course. Why do I keep saying that when all I basically come at you with League of Legends? Well, once in a while I do throw in another game. But in this game, I'm bringing you a fairly short one. Um, I do really well in this one. I'm starting to have a few games like this every now and then. So I'm hoping that's a sign I'm getting better. Probably not, but hell, could be worse. But anyways, we have an entire team of PC potatoes across the top with PLJ on Timo, Game Rockin' on Ari. God, I'm getting tired of seeing her. I know she's a new champion, but still, you just get sick of seeing them after a while. Anyways, Sukio, that's not Sukio, is on Janna. You have to be a PC potato to understand that. Blank version 3 is going to be our Trendemir, and I am playing the Demon of the Dark in Cho'Gath. And my frame rates are fucked up. Just one sec. Okay, easy enough to fix. So let's speed this up and get everyone where they need to go. I will be laning in the bottom lane with Janna. And as you can see, Timo and Trendemir will be in the top lane, and Ari will be in the mid lane. Yep. When we play blind draft, which is you don't do not blind draft, but blind pick, I usually don't take a jungler anymore because I don't know. In blind picks, there's usually not a jungler, not very often. If there is, if you choose one, you're leaving your top in a 1v2 situation, which can be really tough. So if I'm playing draft and we need a jungler, I'll jungle. If we're just playing blind pick, I'll usually pick a lane. So they try and get out to a fast start here. Volibear's trying to get us to come over and just not going it. Not going to have it. Get into the mid little. Bother Volibear. He has his flip of all things. And he, you know, there we go. There's Xin Zhao trying to come in and get some free hits, and only gets a couple. I use my flash to get away because I just don't feel like getting popped up in the air and taking a few more hits. I would more than likely survive, but I really don't want to deal with it. Now, the main drawback you have here is you have two bruisers, but both are melee. They don't have any range. I mean, Xin has a dash, but he doesn't seem to use it that often. And, yeah, that's pretty tough up there. Up top, you got a good pairing with Timo and Trendemir. Trendemir can be the bruiser that comes in while Timo hits from the back. Annie, surprisingly, is in the top lane. And I don't believe they have a jungler, but I do believe they have someone roaming. I'm not sure. Yeah, she's probably just gone back. And surprisingly, Katarina in the mid lane over Annie. Now, that's not to say Kat can't mid. I've seen Kat mid plenty of times and do very well. It's just it's surprising it's over Annie, in my estimate. So yeah, they're doing their, you know, go into the bush and try and be annoying and all that, but it's really not working in their favor. There's a slow and a flip. They'll get some damage on Janna, but she'll flash out. She's also got a potion. Not a big deal. It's just slowly walk back. We take some damage, but nothing major. Volibear's hurting right now, so I'm just trying to focus on him. I'd like to see his passive activate so that we can get that out of the way. So, as it should be, at least in the early game, I believe, is Ari dominating over Kat in the beginning. Kind of a mid-range standoff as Irelia is still nowhere to be seen, leaving Annie by herself up top. That's not a good scenario. I don't know if she was DC'd or not at the beginning. I don't think she was. Now, I go over some bullet points with Cho'Gath. That's, you know, kind of a good way to play him. First of all, he can be a bruiser. In other words, he can be the guy that pushes and intimidates and gets people to fall back. But we're up against two more bruisers. A heavy hitter, and of course to get the flip and the slow and all that. And I'm paired with Janna, who, although could rip a nice big tornado up the middle, I've seen her play different ways, and she's playing most effectively right now. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with her play style. But if things got bad, she could just rip a tornado up there. So we've decided to play it defensive instead and keep them off of our backs. There we go. We get the first blood as Tryndamere picks up Annie up top. Unfortunately, Ahri going down to Cat in the mid lane. You see even behind the tower, so that must have been a Shumpo in. Cat is level 5, so no, there wasn't an ulti, so I'm not sure how that happened. I could have gone up there and seen it, but meh, it happened. How you really want to build Cho'Gath is up to you. You can build him straight out damage, and he can still be rather tanky with his Nom abilities, but then you have to consider being alive a lot. You can build him with a lot of health and some ability power, which is the build I like to go, by doing things like Rod of Ages and Rylus Crystal Scepter to open. Or you can just build him pure tanky, go a lot of health and you know, not a lot of damage, and just make him an initiator, because you can still get a fair amount of damage out of his ulti, which is Feast. You know, even at the start, it deals 300 true damage to an enemy, which means that if they're at 300 health, they're dead. Volibear trying to charge out of the jungle, not having any of that, or at least out of the tall grass, rather. Yes, and Cat again dominating on Ahri up top, but Cat, I'm believing, taken out by a minion, getting that low health, so it ends up an even kill. So we're at 2-2 right now. I don't play Cho'Gath very often, but I swear I'm going to start playing him more. I actually enjoy playing him, just because people forget about his Nom. They forget about that Feast. And, you know, you're sitting at, like, especially the higher levels, you're sitting like 600 health and whatnot. You're like, okay, you know, I'm alright. Then you come in and you pop them up in the air, you give them that roar, and then you hit them with Feast, and suddenly they're dead. And you'll see an example of that in the not-too-distant future. There we go. Volley diving in, getting a little too close. Up goes the Ignite, a few auto attacks, and Volley goes down, leaving Xin Zhao by himself at less than half health. The fault of that Volibear is he was just like supremely overconfident, or just maybe wasn't sure how to play him. He was in too many situations where he should have backed out but didn't. I should have gone with Jen after Xin Zhao there. We could have probably picked him up if I had popped him up in the air, but I didn't. I was more focused on farming minions, which not the best of ideas. There, Irelia shows up. Maybe she was AFK. I mean, we're still looking at only level 3. Annie's 4. You know, we get 5 and 6 in the other lanes. So not exactly sure where she's been. But I've kind of figured that I'm going to try at the very least to try and get one legendary skin a month if I can afford it. And I think Cho'Gath, the Gentleman Cho'Gath, is going to be my next one, because I'm going to start playing him more often. The problem behind that is I got a big expense coming up this January, and even though I'm going to get a little bit of help with it, it's still a big expense. I have to re-register my car, and that's like $248, and that's a massive slice out of what I get per month. So I don't know how things are going to go this month, but I'm going to try and do what I can. My main concern right now is to try and get I can't think. Is to try and put some riot points onto my account every month and then use them to buy stuff that comes up on sale, whether it be heroes or skins that I like. Otherwise, I'm really just going to focus on using... let's see, chasing down Teemo. Teemo very low, not going to get him. Tryndamere coming in. There's an Ignite on Tryndamere, but he will get into the turret in time, and he won't die, but he will be very low as he continues going way down. And Volibear back into the lane with Xin Zhao as we continue to be down near our tower. I don't mind it too much being near the tower. It actually allows you to reverse the ganks very easily if they try and come in and get you. You know, you got the safety of your tower. See, like this, coming after me. Used his ability, wasted his last pop-up shot, and now he gets roared at. He's hurt. There, Volibear standing in, giving some hits, and I just calmly walk away as Janna comes over. Ari running way back. Yeah, there's Cat. That would be why. And even Irelia came down as well. But they did not manage to get Arya. She got away. Figuring that they may be coming after us, Jenna falls back behind the tower. I'm not overtly worried. I do fall back. Even if they came out, it would be a 3-on-2 around the tower, and we might have an advantage with that. But they don't come, and you know, Janna's got to go and face check. What if they were there? She'd be dead. Maybe she had flash. I don't know. Doesn't pan out that way. Xin Zhao having gone to the mid lane now, and this is something that shouldn't be done. And, you know, Irelia, Xin Zhao have gone to the mid lane, so you're getting 2 per lane. You see Xin Zhao's wandering. Maybe he's going into the jungle, but he seems to be wandering, which means he's starting to fall behind in farm, leaving Volibear by himself in the lower lanes. Not the brightest of moves. There's a pop-up. There's a roar as Volibear's health goes down, and I looked at Volibear, and I looked at his health and went, oh man, if I could have nommed him, I think I could have killed him. And I'm like, maybe I'll get another chance. So I'm just waiting to see, and I get a little dismayed that he falls way back, but I notice that he's not retreating. Earlier on, he gave me a bite, that W ability of his, where he gives you a bite based on his health. So I decided to return the favor. There's a pop-up, there's a roar, and there we go. There's the nom. And Volibear goes down for the second time as I pick up my first kill. And there we go. My nom hurts more. And see, this is something, okay, yeah, you're pushing the mid lane out. You may get a tower, but at this point, you're not getting the XP that you should. It's that simple. So now you're starting to fall behind in the XP department. And while they're pushing that lane, well, we'll be happy to push this tower. You know, we're already 2 kills up, so yeah, they take the tower, but then what? I know Xin Zhao's coming, but I really want that tower. Unfortunately, we don't have enough minions to make it possible, and Irelia is coming as well, so we decide to fall back. There is a shield going after her. There's a pop-up that I missed, but a roar and some auto attacks, and Xin Zhao forced to fall back. Not the brightest. If I could have popped him up, we could have done a lot more damage. Pinging for Arya, letting her know that others are coming up. Volibear returning to the lane as he's down a level right now. And there we go, up top. Teemo picking up Annie as she tries to get away. Trendemir in the background. He's got some lifesteal. He's got a Zeal already. So he's doing well. I'm working towards a Catalyst Protector. I'm working for the Rod of Ages to be my first item. Like I said, I don't farm very well. As you see, I should tag that minion instead of continuing to hit this one, even though I get both of them. There's a quick nom. Come into my tower, Volibear, please. We'd love to have you. There's a roar. Volibear almost dies. That triggers his passive. And here comes Ari to finish off Volibear. Janna knocking away Xin Zhao as he almost killed her as they push Volibear out. Now the focus becomes Xin Zhao. There goes an Ignite on him. As soon as I get into the bush, I throw up another Ignite to make sure he dies. And Arya picks up the kill. Very nice. Ari. I've been doing good keeping her name straight up until that point. At least I think I have. If I haven't, I'm sorry. So we see Irelia going up to the mid lane here. And Trendemir falling back. Teemo falling back. Not 100% sure why, but then, maybe because of the mushroom, she fell back there. Annie in the lane as well. Looks like Annie, spending some money on the Elixir of Brilliance. I don't know if that's a good idea early game or not. Maybe someone could inform me if getting that early is a good idea or not. But I usually will only get them if I'm towards a late game. And we do take the tower up here, evening up the tower numbers at 1-to-1. We have a 6-to-2 kill advantage. And finally falling back, I believe I'm able to get my catalyst protector. Yep, there we go. Very nice. And at this point, I know things are bad up in this lane. There goes Irelia throwing out. There's Tibbers. And there's the Ignite. Double Ignite. Trendemir uses his Endless Rage to survive. A Ghost, which he actually did not need. And I see him go by with almost no health. I am on my way up as Teemo is in trouble. And taking the hits, Irelia, she goes down. But the kill will go to Teemo from the turret. And I am not going to let Annie get away with that. With a pop-up, there's a roar and attack. And down goes Annie. Picking up 2 kills for 1, even though we lost the tower. That was just good timing on my part, even though I never planned it, to be able to get up there and get at Annie before she gets away. Looks like, oh, there's Volibear. There's a pop-up, charm missed. There's a slow as they start pounding away at him. He goes for the flip. Up comes Xin Zhao. More damage going out. Heading back for the tower now. No one coming to back up, and Volibear will get away. Signaling that they're coming up. Yeah, I see that. There's the dash in. I just flash away. No pursuit from any of them. Which was one of the smart things Volibear did. I expected him to try and roll after me, at which point I was going to stomp and roar at the same time, which might have ended up killing him. There's Arya, almost getting Volibear with the pop-up. If we had gotten that, we probably would have killed him. I chased him a little ways, but not too far. Janna started heading up the middle, seen Volibear and Xin Zhao coming, and retreats back to her turret. I see that Xin Zhao and Volibear down there with only Janna by herself, even though Janna may be able to hold them off. I'm figuring a little backup would go a long way in helping. Now, the way you want to build out Cho'Gath is I wait to surprise in here. There they go after Janna. They flip her over. There's the roar. There's the nom. Taking out Volibear again. I thought there was a roar, but I guess I just did a pop-up in a nom. And there's Xin Zhao. And he's falling back now. I believe they got Janna, but I managed to pick up Volibear. There's a stomp. I completely miss. As he's going after me. There's the roar. He ghosts out of there, seeing it. He's not going to win a 1v1 match with me. Yeah, there's Janna. Janna went down. Ahri coming down the bottom as well. The way you want to kind of build out Cho'Gath, you want to take Rupture as your first ability. Then you want to follow it up. I usually follow it up with Vorpal Spikes. And then finally you want to do Feral Scream. However, you want to max Feral Scream first, even though you take it as your last ability. You want to max it first, and then you want to max Rupture, and then Vorpal Spikes. Just basic tips that probably most people already know, because there's a lot of people that play this game, but yeah, it's something to talk about, something I've never done before, pointing out a few things about champions. There's an Ignite, there's a slow. It's probably not going to be enough to get Annie. She activated her shield and hightailed it out of there. Volibear and Xin Zhao back in the bottom lane as I come stomping down again. I got 5 stacks of my feast going on. I've got 3 kills, no deaths, 2 assists, so I'm feeling pretty good. They start to walk in. There's a stomp. There's a roar. Take out most of the minion wave, forcing Volibear and Xin Zhao to back off as I pick up my 6th and final stack. One thing I'm not afraid to do as Cho'Gath is to use my feast to severely injure an enemy, even if it doesn't kill them, and even if I don't have full stacks. Because sometimes it just pays off to go for the kill, even if you can't quite get it. Right now, I'm just trying to be harassing. I believe that Janna went and set a... Yep, chasing me down, but a nice shield from Janna. And nice and protected, nothing wrong there. Down comes Ahri again. I was hoping Ahri would stay back and maybe we could surprise him. But no, she comes straight in. Nails the charm. There's the pop-up. There's the roar. Damage going out. Volibear coming out of the bush. Notice we completely ignore him. There's the Ignite on Xin Zhao, but I note that he's going to get away. Volibear going into his ulti like this is supposed to worry me. There's a pop-up right there. There's a roar. He flips me over. I'm wondering why the hell I'm not nomming him. And then finally, there we go. Finish him off. I should have done that a lot earlier, and it would have done. He would have died a lot sooner. Katarina came down to help, but changed her mind after Volibear fell. Xin Zhao bailing out as well, taking the high road up and around. There's Katarina coming in, and we see Irelia as well, and then Xin Zhao is up in here, so we fall back some. At this point, we should have picked up Dragon already. We should have picked up Dragon several times in this game already, but we're not playing it pro style. I was going to start heading back, and I thought they were kind of pushing, so I decided to hold in the lane for a while, as I still have plenty mana and a fair amount of health. Not sure why we didn't go up and go after. Sorry about that. Was making an adjustment. And go after Cat. We probably could have done significant damage, but I think it comes back to pay. We end up paying for it later. But there we go. Tryndamere and Teemo picking up the turret up top as they chase Ahri through the jungle. Oh, quick Shampoo ends up finishing her off as she gets unlucky as Cat comes up the other way. So I start heading up because I figure this tower needs to be held. And this comes to a point where I've said, right now there's 4 of them up here. And I am ultimately concerned about not being able to hold this tower. So I throw down the Rupture with the knock-up, do the Roar, and then use Feast. And there goes Irelia bailing out quickly. And by doing that, I managed to push Irelia away. And fortunately for me, when I pushed her away, the rest of the team went with her. For some reason, not wanting to stand against me in the mid-tower by themselves, which they probably could have overwhelmed it. Or at least done some damage before having to fall back. See, I finally pick up my Rod of Ages here, giving me some nice ability power, health, and mana. I'm a little up in the levels to truly concern myself with the getting the extra bonus. As they start going after the tower, there's the shield on the tower. And there she goes, using her knockaway to keep them back. Keep them from doing much damage to the tower. That's a unique perspective to that as I've ever seen. And here comes Ahri coming down, throws out the charm, gets Volibear. I throw down the stomp and the roar. This time we're pressuring Volibear again. All kinds of damage going out. I use the Nom on Voli to hurt him, activating his passive as they continue to pressure me. Then I throw the Ignite down on Voli and then end up managing to finish him off. I should have thrown that Ignite much earlier to counteract his healing ability. Unfortunately, at the health I'm at right now, I'm going to end up in a situation that I should not have. I should have probably just fallen back, as there we go. We see Cat coming in. Stomp and Roar to try and keep her off. Going after Xin Zhao, who's being hit by the tower. He manages to get killed, but now Cat's in her ulti, and that will ultimately spell my defeat on this round. Why is it every time I do a commentary, the phone wants to ring? We don't get phone calls all day until I do a commentary. Then the phone wants to ring. Fortunately, I have my automated answering service. It's known as my wife. She'll kill me later for that comment. So still not bad though. 5 kills, 1 death, 3 assists. Doing pretty good as Cho'Gath. There goes the tornado as Cat's going to try and get some damage in on the tower. Definitely not going to kill her as she is forced to back out. 1 second, I got a cough. There we go, feeling a little bit better. Stomping back down to the mid lane. I'm angry now. I've lost 3 of my stacks. I'm like, damn it, I'm little Cho'Gath again. We can't have this. Let's see, a little slow moment in the action. There we go. Come up in the mid lane, going after. Not happening, trying to catch Voli in that, but no go. Yeah, I used to be one of the people that believe you go down into that 4 stance when trying to get away will help. I don't know if Annie's there or not. You saw her coming down at one point. But the reality for me turned out to be that I found out, much with everyone else, that it really doesn't matter. See, we should have picked up Dragon. So many times we could have had Dragon and we just didn't do it. Going down into that stance does not help you get away because you don't get a speed boost by running away. I think you only get the speed boost by running towards. So, just coming into the mid lane, helping Ahri clear out some mid minions, as I'm probably making you sick by going all over the place with this. Xin Zhao, thinking he's hiding in there, revealed by the mushroom, was gonna go over and say hi, but that turned out a no-go there. As we start meeting up in the middle, Annie and Voli down bottom, Trendemir just hanging up overhead, throwing the bouncing knife out, doing some damage, but that tower has almost no health on it, so Teemo comes in and cleans that up, finishing out that tower. I see Annie coming the other way, and so does everyone else, and I say, well, let's just intercept her. So I throw out the pop-up, which actually bounces her over the charm. She throws down Tibbers. I think I got stunned at that point, but I turned around and managed to get the last hit on her. I gotta go back and watch that again. I think that my rupture popped Annie over the charm. This is an interesting little mechanic there. There's the flip on Ahri as they go after her. She's using her dash to get away. Janna knocking everyone askew. I'm after Cat because I remember she killed me earlier. And fortunately she runs into a Teemo mushroom, allowing me to get the kill. There's the ignite on Volibear. As we start going after him, there's no way for him to win this fight. He flips me over him, but he is done. He's regenerating health, but it's only going to last so long. Now I ask you, what's missing in that scene? My Vorpal spikes. Yeah, I keep hitting that button by accident, and I'll shut them off from time to time, trying to activate another ability that I don't have. But there we go, a really nice cleanup in the mid lane for us. I was going to help get the dragon, but, you know, that's Trendemir up there. He doesn't need much help. Having Janna there will be enough, so I decided to clear out this lane and protect the tower. And finally reactivating my Vorpal spikes. At this point, I picked up a Giant's Belt. I am working towards the Crystal Scepter for more health, mana, and ability power. Looks like they're stacking up in the mid. Ahri just kind of playing a fallback thing there, but Teemo coming up in the middle. Boy, that I hate that orb. I really do. Once it gets that green glow going, it's annoying. I have Ahri, but I haven't played her yet just because I don't trust myself with her skill, just to be honest. I want to practice her in bots matches, but I got a few more IP wins to go through, and I don't want to go through those on bots matches. So managing to drive them back now as they push down a little bit, but they know that they're being beat pretty bad, so just showing a few heroes in a lane against them is enough to drive them back. As they start to push this lower tower down here, stomping our way down, at least Cho'Gath's stomping his way down. And Xin Zhao pushing way too far. He's overextended by himself, so we're working to grab him in a crunch. I try and get the pop-up but miss. Janna gets the slow with a tornado pop-up. There's the Feast taking massive damage out of him, and the Roar picking up my 9th kill. Was starting to head back up to help, and I noticed a couple more minions here. Not entirely sure what Janna was doing. Maybe thinking the dragon was going to spawn, or waiting to see if he did spawn or something. No, but there Janna gets surprised, and she uses her ability to knock him away as we come all around, throwing everything we have at absolutely nothing. Oh well. As you can see how quickly Cho'Gath can become tanky. Oh, there we go, as they come around the other side. Stomping my way down. There's the roar to keep the silence. Knocking them up in the air. I do have my Nom. Cat is going into her ulti, but I know that she's almost dead. So I decide to Nom Tibbers and take him out of the fight. There we go. Volibear going into his ulti. A lot of damage going out on Tryndamere as I continue to stand into the fight. And this is not something I really should have done. Maybe I could have gotten away, but I was more concerned about making sure that my team got away. So I do a chase on Volibear that I know I have no chance of getting. And when I do that, I drag Irelia and Annie with me. And the rest of my team gets away because that fight was definitely going against us. No matter what anyone may say, I did do that on purpose because I figured I can hold them busy trying to kill me. My team can get away because the fight just did not go in our favor. As we wait for me to spawn in here. Here we go. Not a ton of action going on as they start working on the upper tower. Annie trying to come in from the side. But nice placement of things down there, making sure that we know they're there. Picking up Xin Zhao. Tryndamere going up against Irelia. She gives him a stun and gets away. I'm stomping up this lane to stop Volibear from pushing any further. There we go. Quick clear out of the minion wave. That's one thing I like about Cho'Gath. You get strong enough, you just blast the minion wave one shot. Now I start stomping back over because I see that things are piling up in the lane again, and I don't want to leave my team without some heavy hitting. There we go, Volibear again. There's the roar to prevent. There's the knockup. I do get flipped over. A lot of damage going out. Cat into her ulti, but she gets bumped off by Janna, who knocks him out. Here we go. I pick up Cat again. Teemo gets Annie. God, I just lost my train of thought. I've been doing good to this point. I don't know what happened there. My brain took a dive and decided it couldn't keep up with the action anymore. I've been off lately. I don't know why. I can feel myself slowly starting to come back. Nice ulti there, Xin Zhao. You hit all of one person. Great job. Teemo picking up Irelia close to the tower. As I see how, ooh, I'm taking tower hits. I gotta back out. Time to take out the next tower despite Xin Zhao being there. At this point, we know that they're all spawning, but I'm like, it's okay, we can just take the tower and then back off, and that's what happens. I believe I'm going to go down here to start turning this minion wave and trying to push this lane. But that's probably the last we're going to follow me, as the rest of the action kind of takes place up in here, I believe. Xin Zhao is kind of headed down that way, but runs over a Teemo mushroom and turns around. I believe I'm signaling Tryndamere to do the dragon, or to come help with the dragon. I don't know if that was me or not. I didn't look at the chat. But Xin Zhao in the mid lane. Here comes Volibear as well. There is Janna as I'll start to push that top lane. Volibear, not being the brightest in the world, walking into the turret. Now he's in trouble. There's the ghost to get away as Teemo and Janna are chasing him. There's the slow. And now what? Now what? There's Ahri as well. She backs off for some reason as Volibear continues to run. And there they go. They're also getting Cat as well as they continue. There's a flash in. And not sure, did he get stunned? There comes Annie. There's Tibbers throwing out all kinds of abilities, but she must not have had much health as she goes down as well. And here we go, Tryndamere on the chase, going after Xin Zhao. Activates the ghost, will run into Janna coming the other way back. And there we go, he ends up being taken out as well. Teemo chasing Irelia now as I continue to push. Irelia trying to use her abilities, trying to get Teemo Just straight up brawling. It does unfortunately get Teemo in the end. But I take this tower up here, and it doesn't matter for much longer, folks, as we begin the countdown, I believe. It won't be much longer. I know it's not quite yet because I actually do pick up a Warmogs. But that's all I get to do is pick it up. There we go. I grabbed the Warmogs. I have over 5,000 health right now. I'm feeling pretty damn tanky. And I'm like, damn, I don't get to use it. Now, before this match goes much further, because they're going to surrender, as you see here, 4 votes for and 1 against. This makes a lot of difference, as you see right here. Teemo mushrooms and wards all over the place, so we could see their movements, prevent ourselves from being ganked. This is something I do not do enough of. A lot of it's because I usually have just enough gold to pick up what I want, and that's really kind of a poor excuse, to be honest, but it's the reason. But yeah, for the most part, Teemo mushrooms, wards, so we can see movement, so we can avoid ganks and things like that. But there we go, folks. I go 10, 2, and 7. I believe the Teemo goes 10, 1, and 6. As we're kind of the two co-carries of the game. Everyone else did fairly well as well. But as you see there, they do surrender at the end, being pushed out with the big stompy Cho'Gath, and a really nice team effort overall. But as always, folks, I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. As always, if you're not playing League of Legends, follow the link in the description down below. Sign up and play the game. And if you are playing League of Legends, follow the link in the description down below. Anyways, make a Smurf account. Play it at least to level 5 for me. I'll be forever grateful. Other than that, this is One Big Bugger. This has been a Cho'Gath, fairly dominant gameplay. And I'll see you next time.